Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your love reading for February 2018. This is Elizabeth from channeledguidance.com. Okay, so you did have a jumping card when I was properly shuffling, and this is what you have. You have the High Priest, which would be the Hierophant. So this tells me that for the month of February, there's a lot of spiritual guidance for you. To me, this card also represents soulmates, soul family, and just kind of feeling like you belong with somebody. So I'm going to put that back into the deck and we'll see if that comes up for you again. Okay, so let's start off with 9 cards from this deck. This is a love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for February 2018. Page of Cups. Love reading for Sagittarius for February. 2 of Wands. Love reading for Sagittarius. Page of Wands. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. 5 of Wands. Love reading for Sagittarius. King of Swords. Love reading for Sagittarius. 4 of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Knight of Swords. Love reading for Sagittarius. 10 of Wands. Love reading for Sagittarius. Wheel of the Year, which is the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, what's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear for February 2018? 7 of Cups. Okay, so you have to be careful in the month of February that you may not be seeing things clearly. This card does represent, confusion and just kind of being really emotional. And I do see a few things going on in this reading, just looking over it. So there could be that, you're unable to make a decision in the month of February. This card can mean that you have other choices. You might be kind of choosing between 2 people right now, but this could just be that there's just too many choices and you can't make up your mind. We'll come back to it to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to focus on the first row and take it one row at a time. You have the Page of Cups, the 2 of Wands, and the Page of Wands. So kind of interesting that you start off with a page, 2 pages, Page of Cups, Page of Wands, 2 of Wands in the middle. So to me, the pages represent communication, and when I'm kind of seeing this, I feel like some of you, you are waiting to hear back from someone. You're waiting for that communication, whether you're hoping to hear from someone from the past or you're hoping they're returning. And I feel like you have been waiting for a while. I mean, the 2 of Wands, this indicates a delay. It indicates waiting. So I feel like for some of you, you are getting that, that communication you've been waiting for. The Page of Cups, it does mean a love letter. It can represent somebody, communicating to you exactly how they feel. The Page of Cups is just a heart-to-heart conversation. Somebody, an outpouring of love. And the Page of Wands, this does represent good news. Something really exciting. So I feel like you have been waiting. Sagittarius has been waiting to hear back from someone, or maybe you've been hoping to get an answer. Remember that the main energy was the 7 of Cups. So maybe there was confusion in the relationship. You're really emotional because you've been waiting to hear back from someone, or you have been waiting for someone to make up their mind whether they're going to be with you or with someone else, because sometimes with this card there are other choices. So it could be that there is good news for you, because I see good news here with the Page of Wands, and I see, an outpouring of emotion here. But it could also be, that if you have been waiting for someone significant to come into your life, especially for those who are single, you have been waiting and there's finally some movement around your love life. There's excitement and a new love interest here. Even for those who are already coupled, where there is no third party, the Page of Cups just means that you're rekindling your relationship. You're really communicating. Remember that the Hierophant jumped for you when I was properly shuffling, and it just means that you're really guided to where you belong. So the Page of Cups just represents a really kind of close relationship. There is some type of excitement going on here with the Page of Wands, and I feel like you have been waiting for this. Okay, so moving on to the second row, you have the 5 of Wands, the King of Swords, and the 4 of Cups. So there is someone here who is an air sign. So this would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. There is an air sign, and there's kind of some weird energy around this air sign. You have the 5 of Wands, which to me, this is a card that sometimes does represent competition. Not always, but I mean, you do have this card as the main energy, the Seven of Cups, which, like I said, it can represent other choices. So maybe, and it could even be that maybe you are the air sign, if you have a moon or a rising sign in that element, where maybe there is competition for your affection, where you have been unhappy. Because I mean, you have the Four of Cups, and this card usually does come up when someone is unhappy and unfulfilled. And this is somehow connected to an air sign, yet there is this very kind of competitive energy around the Five of Wands, where somebody might want what you want, or you know, you might want what somebody else has. I just see, you know, this unhappy energy around Sagittarius, where you're just kind of bored with the way things are in your relationship. You're bored, and you know, you could have your eye on someone who's already coupled with someone else. I have a ton of private readings where people are asking about people who are already partnered or already married. This is somehow connected to an air sign. Now, for those of you where there is no third party, it could be that there is a struggle in February with your partner, where there could be a lot of fighting and bickering. That is the other energy of the Five of Wands. You're just not getting along. This is really petty energy, a lot of just kind of minor disputes, disagreements, because someone is unhappy. That's just the energy of the Four of Cups. You're just unhappy. You feel like something's missing and you don't quite know what it is. Of course, the King of Swords can be you, or it can be your partner. Okay, so down here you have the Knight of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Wheel of Fortune. So let's just start here. The Ten of Wands. Someone is fed up, exhausted. You feel like you want to give up. But the energy around it tells me that someone is not giving up. So this can either be that you're nervous because you feel like your partner is drifting away from you. You feel like they're giving up on the relationship. Yeah, I see movement here. And, you know, with the Knight of Swords, this is someone that's really impulsive and just doesn't really care about consequences and just throws caution to the wind. And then you have the Wheel of Fortune, which means things are changing for the better. So I feel like a relationship, whether it's your partner or you, where someone was ready to throw in the towel, maybe because someone had been really unhappy and unfulfilled, maybe because there had been a lot of fighting and arguments, someone was ready to just walk away, and you know, it just the relationship became way too much. Like, it's just, the burden was just too much. Things are changing here. The wheel is finally turning to where you are finally having a more stable relationship. Things are changing for the better. I just feel like seeing this row here that, you know, there's disagreements, like you're not getting along with your partner, there's unhappiness. And in the first row here, I feel like, you know, there has to be a lot of communication for those who are already coupled and there's no one else. There has to be, I feel like if you're communicating from the heart and, you know, you're really hoping for change, it's here. I mean, I see it in the Page of Wands, and I see it, of course, in the Wheel of Fortune. But I do feel like something is going on with Sagittarius, where someone is feeling unhappy and just kind of, you know, like, I should be happier. Like, why am I not happy? And you've become bored with things, and there could be some fighting, disagreements with your partner. Okay, so let's get a few more cards from the same deck. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for February? You have the King of Cups, messages for Sagittarius, Queen of Pentacles, Justice. Okay, so these three cards, so you have two court cards. So not only do you have an air sign, now you have a water sign. And I feel like these are probably messages for different people. So Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces is here. And then you have an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. And this could, again, this can be you if you have a moon or rising sign, or it can be your partner, you and your partner. Yet, you know, you have Justice, which, you know, to me, this represents an apology. This is someone trying to make things up to you, or maybe someone's trying to make up to you that they caused you a lot of unhappiness, that, you know, there were so many fights and so many disagreements. Perhaps that, you know, someone kind of got you into this energy where you almost were ready to give up on them in the entire relationship. I see someone trying to make things up to you here. Someone is really trying to get an apology, well, give you an apology, or it could be that you're trying to get an apology. I just see like someone's trying to make things right here. And this is connected to a water sign and an earth sign. Like they are sorry for what they have done and they're trying to make things up to you. They're trying to fix the relationship. Okay, so let's move to the other side and let's get some more confirmation from the second deck. What other messages are there for Sagittarius for February? You have the Empress, messages for Sagittarius for February. The Seven of Swords. And the Knight of Wands. What's the most important message that Sagittarius needs to hear for the month of February 2018? The Page of Pentacles. Do your homework when it comes to your love life. Don't jump to conclusions, and I'm saying that because you have the Seven of Swords. So for some of you, I don't know, I'm going to tie this all together, but I feel like for some of you, something could be going on in your love life where you're ready to just like walk away. You're ready to make certain assumptions about your love life, like, you know, it's hopeless. The Page of Pentacles is telling you really study your relationship, study your love life, your partner, there is something for you to learn. Of course, there's another page now. Now there's three. Page of Cups, Page of Wands, Page of Pentacles. Whatever is going on with you, communication is really important. You have to communicate with your partner. Okay, so let's look at these three cards. So you have the Empress. So the Empress, I mean, this is one of my favorite cards to see in a love reading because it means that you don't have to settle when it comes to a relationship, which is really important because, I mean, you have the Four of Cups here. And like I said, this is usually the energy where somebody is unfulfilled and unhappy. You don't have to be when the Empress pops up, because she means that you can have your ideal partner. You can have everything that you want. You don't have to settle. You don't have to compromise. But I feel like you have to be careful because you have the Seven of Swords. You have to be careful. Don't be your own worst enemy. And I mean, now that I've seen most of the cards, I'm going to pull more. But I feel like you have to be careful. I feel like somebody might be ready to kind of give up on a relationship, or maybe you've been waiting too long. Maybe there's been a lot of disagreements. You're just kind of unhappy, or it could even be your partner. You have to hang in there. You have the Knight of Wands, which means that, you know, this is a really strong energy of like you're relentless. Like no one and nothing is going to stop me from getting what I want. But I mean, this came out with a Seven of Swords, which is, to me, this can represent, I mean, it represents a lot of things, but based on what I see here, I feel like it's you working against yourself. You being your own worst enemy. Because I see that you can have everything that you want here with the Empress. There is an ideal relationship out there for you. But remember that the main energies were telling us that you're also confused. You're not seeing things clearly. And then the second deck, the main energy was telling you that you have a lot of studying to do when it comes to your love life. You have to look at your relationship, your partner, look at patterns, see what's going on, because you don't want to make a decision that is not what's best for you. Because I feel like for some of you, there's something going on where you are, again, there's just an energy of being unhappy, and then down here, an energy of just wanting to give up on the whole thing. Being like, this has become way too much. But there is positive change around this Ten of Wands down here. Remember, you have the Knight of Swords. Things are changing, and when this Knight comes up, it means business. Things change very quickly. Not only that, but you had the Wheel of Fortune, which means it's time for you to be on top, but not if you are giving up on things. This Knight is just telling you, stay in control, stay very self-confident, and go after what you want. I just feel like the energy is there for you to have the perfect relationship, whether it's, you know, meeting somebody new, or maybe you are already partnered, or you have your eye on someone. You can have everything that you ever wanted with the Empress being here, but not if you are giving up, not if you just kind of withdrawn into yourself with this Four of Cups, where it's just like an energy of like not caring anymore. There's really no other way of putting it. You don't care anymore when this card comes up, because you're so down that you're just kind of like, blah, I don't care anymore. And again, it could be because of disagreements, or it could be because of competition. Hard to tell in a general reading. Okay, so what I'm going to do, and I've done this for many of the other signs, is I'm going to keep pulling a few more cards. I'm going to pull a few more cards that will give us some insight. Let me ask specifically. I'm going to ask, what is working against you on this side, and then when I pull from the second deck, I'm going to ask what is helping you when it comes to your love life. Okay, so what is working against Sagittarius in the month of February 2018? What is working against Sagittarius for the month of February 2018? What is working against Sagittarius? Okay, let's see what's working against you. Ten of Swords. What's working against Sagittarius in February? The Eight of Swords. What's working against Sagittarius? Three of Cups. Okay, so we're going to take a look at these three cards. Let's see if I don't knock everything off my desk here. Okay. So, kind of revealing. I mean, Ten of Swords and the Eight of Swords. Some of you are stuck. I mean, the Ten of Swords, this is the ultimate card that is screaming, move on. Now, it doesn't mean that you're moving on from your partner, because, I mean, it's a general reading, so again, it's hard to say this is what I'm getting for you, because there's thousands of people who are going to watch this. But, I mean, the Ten of Swords usually means that, you know, you were hurt, yes, you were betrayed, yes, but, you know, it's time to move on. And I feel like some of you feel unable to move on with the Eight of Swords. I mean, this is the ultimate card of feeling trapped and feeling like your hands are tied behind your back, and you know, I mean, the woman is literally blindfolded and her hands are tied behind her back. She sees no way out. So I feel like this message can be, I'm going to talk about it some more, but I feel like there's a strong message here for someone that's having trouble moving on from a relationship, where maybe things ended really badly. And I feel like your decision to not move on, for whatever reason, maybe you're still mourning the loss of this partner. You're not moving on because you don't know how. Maybe you don't know how to get over them. You don't know if they're coming back. You don't know what to do with this card. You feel trapped. You need to move on in some way because happiness awaits you. You have the Three of Cups. This is marriage. This is marriage. This is happiness. But it can even be for those who are already coupled that you need to move on from the fighting, from the disagreements, from the instability. Because, I mean, I see that here in the Five of Wands. You know, the struggle. Maybe you're just not getting along. Move on from the unhappiness. In some way there's a need. I mean, the tens usually represent an ending. There's a need to move on in order for you to have this happiness. But I feel like something's going on where you don't know how to do that with the Eight of Swords. You feel trapped. Like there's no way out. How do I move on? How do we move out of this negative place where this marriage, you know, has ended up, or this relationship? That's why your main energy was the Page of Pentacles. It's time to really look at your love life, your partner, to see what's really going on. I feel like you need to see what's going on because many of you are confused, you're really emotional, there could be other choices. This just tells me you're not seeing things clearly. But your happiness is at stake here. And for some of you, this could be your marriage, where you don't see how to kind of move on from the cycle that you're in, but it's time with the Ten of Swords being here. Okay, so now I'm going to ask the other deck what you can use, what is helping your relationship or your love life. What energies are helping Sagittarius for the month of February 2018? What energies are helping Sagittarius for February 2018? What energies are helping Sagittarius for February 2018? Okay, so let's move this way. What energies are helping Sagittarius? The Three of Pentacles. What's helping Sagittarius for February? The Moon. What is helping Sagittarius with their love life for February? The Six of Wands. Okay, I'll put it here. Okay, so what I see here as far as what's helping or what could help your love life, I mean, what's going to help you have this sense of victory. You have the Six of Wands. This is you overcoming any obstacles, whether the obstacle is, you know, meeting somebody new or, getting somebody out of your way that's trying to move in on your partner, or, you know, getting rid of the arguments, the struggles between you. What's going to help you get this victory is this, the Three of Pentacles, which is telling you that if you want to overcome your obstacles and have this victory, you will have to give it your all. So, I mean, just kind of seeing, you know, I pulled all the cards now. Part of what you have to do with this energy, where you are pretty much like desperate. You would do anything and everything to make things work, to get what you want. You have 3 pages in this reading. 3 pages. Which tells me that there has to be a lot of communication. There has to be a lot of communication between you and your partner. Communication from the heart. That's the only way to kind of cancel out these weird energies of the Five of Wands and the Four of Cups, you know, where somebody's unhappy, and then down here, somebody wanting to give up. Somebody has to give it their all. Somebody has to go out of their way to make things happen. Not only that, but you also have the Moon. So this can be self-deceit. And let me just kind of move this out of the way because this is relevant. You have the Moon and the Seven of Swords. This is deceit. And I mean, I don't feel like it's deceit coming from your partner unless that's what's going on with you. Or maybe it's something that you need to see, especially if you're watching because you know there's someone else. But this can be self-deceit, and that's what I was getting from this card before I pulled the Moon. I mean, the Seven of Swords usually means that, you know, you're working against yourself. You're being your own worst enemy. And of course, the Moon is a similar energy, except it's a major arcana, and it means that, you know, you're not seeing things clearly, which ironically it was the main energy. Here it is from the other deck. There's a sense of confusion. Whatever it is that's going on with Sagittarius in February, you're not seeing things clearly, so keep that in mind. And the Moon, part of what's helping you here again is to use your intuition. This is a very intuitive energy, psychic energy. So, what, you know, if your intuition is telling you this relationship or this marriage, it's not a loss. Things are going to work out. If your intuition is screaming that at you, then pay attention to that. Because this energy here is telling me that your intuition is going to help you. Being in the know. Of course, the Moon, this represents hidden insights, things coming to light. Again, with all these pages that you have in this reading, like you need to communicate. I mean, you have the Page of Cups, you have the Page of Wands, and I know there was another page here somewhere. There's just a need to communicate. I feel like that is what's going to help you, because I feel like for some of you, you're confused and you're not seeing things clearly. So now that I've pulled all the cards, let me just look at the major arcanas, because the major arcanas are always the most significant. The most significant energies of what is around your love life in a particular month. And one of them was justice for you. Someone's trying to make things up to you, or it could be the universe is trying to fix things, but I mean, you have to meet the universe halfway. This can be somebody asking for forgiveness. This could be why you have these pages in this reading. Here was the other page I couldn't find because it was a main energy. So you have 3. This one, Page of Cups, Page of Wands. So there could be communication where someone is asking for, you know, asking for forgiveness with the Justice card. Someone's trying to make things up to you, where something was not fair to you. The other major arcana was the Wheel of Fortune. You know, whatever is going on with Sagittarius, it's time for that to change. It's, you know, things should change for the better for you. Now, the other major arcana that I see here, moving all the way this way, is the Empress. You don't have to settle for what's going on in your love life right now. You don't have to settle for this energy of constant bickering and fighting, and this energy of just kind of feeling empty and wondering, like, can I do better? You can. And for some of you, yes, it can be with a different person, because I mean, there's a strong energy in this reading of like other choices. It can also be with your partner, where you literally can have everything that you want from this person. It's just going to require you to see the truth. I mean, with the Seven of Swords being here. But the other major arcana that you have, of course, was the Moon. Don't lie to yourself. With the Moon, this means that there could be things you don't know. Remember this, I pulled this card with the intention that this is helping energy. So it's going to help you to not be in denial. That will help you, and it will also help you to know everything that you need to know about your partner. What's going on with them? Why are they acting a certain way? What is it they have to tell you? Again, all these pages that you have in this reading, this is all going to help you get this, a sense of victory. So this card really stands out, of course, with the first major arcana that I showed you, Justice. Things, you know, things are trying to be set right for you in February, whether it's the universe trying to make things right for you by helping you meet somebody special, or a partner, particular partners trying to make things right for you by apologizing. There's a lot of communication, a lot of going back and forth, someone speaking from the heart, there's good news, you've been waiting. There is a lot going on in this reading. I just feel like it's going to be up to you. Because, I mean, if someone's trying to apologize to you and you're not interested in hearing their apology or what happened, or you're just fed up, because, I mean, I do see that in this reading, and there's not much that can be done. I feel like you have to be open if you really want a relationship to work. Don't work against yourself with the Seven of Swords being here. Again, this Seven of Swords is deceit. It could be self-deceit, and it's significant because it came out with, I mean, right next to it is the moon, self-deceit. So deceit in some way is like strong in this reading, and I feel like for the majority of you it is self-deceit. But again, if there's something going on in your love life, hard to tell in a general reading, if there's something going on where you feel like something's off here, something's off, and maybe you know there is competition, it could be that even if there is competition, you have to do your best to get through it with the Three of Wands being here. And if there is competition, I still see you coming out on top with the Six of Wands. I still see you succeeding. So I feel like there's going to be a lot going on this month, but whatever it is that you do, remember to communicate, and remember that you are not stuck, because that was a really strong energy on this side of the reading. You feel trapped, but you're not. And if you keep thinking that you're stuck in whatever it is that's going on with you, this is what you're missing out on, the Three of Cups. Either finding your life partner, or maybe a relationship that was headed towards marriage. Okay, this has been your love reading for February 2018. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.